The Tourism Business Council of South Africa says it welcomes Britain's decision to remove South Africa and 10 other African countries from its red travel ban list. At least 6 southern African nations were placed on the list last month after scientists in South Africa identified the Omicron variant of the coronavirus. Well, for more on this, I'm joined by Tshifhiwa Tshivhengwa. He's the CEO of the Tourism Business Council of South Africa. Thanks very much for joining us, Tshifhiwa. Now, the UK is a significant market for the South African tourism industry, especially at this time. But is the latest decision to unban travel too little too late?
Well, thank you for having me. Indeed, it is an important market. The UK is the one that started with the whole red listing last month, and many other countries followed the UK in putting us on their own red list. So UK is a significant market for us. We receive over 450,000 tourists coming from the UK in a good year, pre-COVID. And it simply means that it's a market that we cannot afford to ignore. And it's important that the UK make this decision to lift the ban. Now, when it comes to Christmas travel, it may be a little bit late, but there will still be people who want to travel between the two countries, who, had, canned their plans, and now they can revive those plans, to travel to South Africa. More importantly, the families that need to travel to see each other can be able to travel without, the quarantine requirement when they get to the UK. But from the tourism point of view, it's a little bit too late. We will see in the coming days if the demand is going to increase. And it may not increase for now in December, but we're looking at January and February going forward to see if those that have cancelled their bookings are going to reinstate their bookings and travel to South Africa. So it's an important step that the UK have taken, and we believe that other countries that have taken similar steps, in banning South Africans and their own citizens from traveling to South Africa will take similar steps that will help the recovery of tourism here in South Africa.
It is perhaps premature, as the ban was only lifted this morning, but have you been hearing anything from your members, your colleagues, around travellers from the United Kingdom already making inquiries to come over?
Well, we'll start to get some indicative numbers in the next 24 hours or so from the airlines themselves and also from the tour operators here on the ground, as well as the hotels, in terms of whether there is reinstatement of bookings or there is some queries that are coming from the UK. But we do know that, there are people that have been wanting to travel between the two countries. There may not be as many as before. And those that wanted to come have made a different plan, for their Christmas holidays. But the most important part is that we can now plan for the future. And we can plan knowing that, South Africa is open for business. However, the UK needs to really put this whole red listing, phenomenon, into the history books so that we don't have to experience this in the future, and we can put trust into the system, and people can be able to book for the next 3 to 4 months, and we can start to recover as a tourism sector.
Yeah.
But for now, it's going to be very difficult to quantify if, we're going to have more people coming in. We're yet to see, and we're going to be, reporting on it from our side in terms of whether there's increase in demand from the UK.
Like you say, in the short term, it's quite difficult to tell whether it's too little, too late. But of course, here at home, the COVID-19 cases do continue to rise, although the severity of Omicron appears to be less harsh. What are you hoping is going to come out of the deliberations being had around how the country should deal with the growing number of infections?
Well, I think that we have the tools to deal with COVID-19. We have been living with it for the past 20 plus months, and we have learned from the past lockdown levels that we have experienced. And I do hope that, when decisions are made now, they are made, taking into consideration, the economic impact, taking into consideration the health impact, and so forth and so on. But what's important is that we in the tourism industry, we cannot afford to have another festive season that will be marked with tighter restrictions, people not going to the beaches or parks, people not being able to travel from province to province. That will be, the final nail in the coffin of the tourism industry. We're already struggling with international markets, as I've said. We just been lifted from the UK, but we're still restricted in the US, the European Union and many other countries. So domestic travel is the only thing that we have, and we cannot afford any restrictions that will put us back to where we were months ago when we had restrictions of interprovincial travel. We're starting to see some green shoots, and there are people here at home that are traveling, supporting the industry, and any decision that hinders the movement of people will be detrimental to the sector, including curfew, including the restriction on the sale of alcohol. People want to travel, let's let them travel. They do so safely. We have protocols in place and norms and standards in place. We can use those to mitigate the spread of the virus.
Yeah, well, let's hope those other international partners do follow suit following the UK's decision. Thank you very much. That was Tshifhiwa Tshivhengwa, the CEO of the Tourism Business Council of South Africa.